Breaking news out of Alberta. There has been a train derailment in the southeast of that province. Now, officials say because it involves a chemical exposure, everyone near the hamlet of Irvine is being asked to evacuate. Stephanie Mercier joins us now with further details. At this stage, Stephanie, what do you know?
Okay, so Natasha, what we do know is that this train derailment happened around 3:20 local time on the west side of the community of Irvine, Alberta. That's about 3 hours southeast of Calgary, about 20 minutes outside of Medicine Hat, near the Saskatchewan border. Now, all residents within this 6.5-kilometre radius of this area are being asked to evacuate, and part of the Trans-Canada Highway is closed as well. And the concern, as you mentioned, is for possible chemical exposure. Now, let's have a look at the pictures that we have found from the scene. Now, these pictures were taken by someone at the scene and posted to social media, and they show train cars piled on top of each other, some damage to the tracks. Police on the scene tell CBC that 12 to 15 rail cars seem to have left the tracks, and they may have been containing flammable cargo. And we know that this was a CP train. CP has released a statement saying approximately 3:20 local time, this CP train derailed east of Irvine. CP has dispatched teams to the site. Now, we know that there are about 300 people who live in that hamlet of Irvine, but we don't quite know how many in that surrounding area. So far, we have heard no immediate reports of any injuries. Residents are being asked to report to an emergency reception center at the Cypress County Administration Office in the community of Dunmore. We don't really know at this point what that train was carrying. As we've said, officials say there is that risk of chemical exposure. That's why they're asking people to avoid that area and to leave that area. And the province is asking all residents to follow directions from their local authorities for their own safety. This is still a developing situation at this point, Natasha, and we will bring you the latest information as it comes to us.
Okay, thank you, Stephanie.
You're welcome.
We've been able to reach someone who I understand is under an evacuation order. Our next guest lives near the train tracks where the derailment happened. Jennifer Radisik joins me now on the phone. Jennifer, are you in Irvine right now?
Absolutely not. We got evacuated at about 3:30 this afternoon.
Okay, so take me through what happened. You did not witness the train derailment, did you?
No, we were actually in our backyard, and I heard a loud noise, and my fiance was on the deck, and our neighbor actually said the train just derailed. So we got in our car, and we went and checked it out, and yeah, it was quite a sight to see.
Well, describe the site. What did you see? Because we're taking a look at pictures, but we've only got a handful of pictures, and you were actually able to see it. Describe that for us. There was fire, smoke. I could see the train derailed. It looked like about 15 to 20 cars all piled up on each other. And at that point in time, my biggest concern was the fire, because the wind was literally coming right towards the town of Irvine. And so fire crews got there really quickly and doused the flames. So we were thankful for that. But then there was like a white smoke emitting from the area. So that's actually, we went home and we were told by this guy that we had to get out right now. And who was this guy?
I don't even know who it was.
So someone just contacted you and said it's time to leave?
He stopped us in our vehicle on our way home.
Okay.
And said, you have to leave now. And I was like shocked, and I said, well, I have to go home and get supplies for my 2-year-old daughter.
Oh my goodness. Were you able to do that? Were you permitted to go home and get? Okay.
Yes.
So where are you now?
We're in Medicine Hat. We already checked in at the Cypress County Center in Dunmore. And Red Cross is actually going to be setting us up with a hotel tonight.
Okay, that's good to hear. I want to go back to when you were still in Irvine and you saw the fire and the smoke was drifting towards your area. Were you able to smell anything? Because we're hearing these reports and these concerns about chemical exposure.
No, it just smelled like smoke to me. So I'm not sure what it is exactly. They're not saying. We haven't been told anything. We've just been told that it's hazardous material, and that within a 6.5-mile radius has been evacuated.
And
have you been able to speak to any of your neighbors, any of the other residents of your community?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Are you all in Medicine Hat right now?
Yeah, most of Irvine is at the Cypress County office right now. So
how are you guys feeling?
Panicky. Never been in a situation like this before, so it's definitely different.
And who's the main source of information? Who's telling you where you have to go, where you're going to get a shelter tonight? How is the communication? Red Cross.
Red Cross, yeah, and it's really good, actually.
Do you have any sense of how this happened?
Not really. I know they were working on the tracks last night, and my fiance said he saw them actually working on that area this morning. So I don't have a clue.
What about the local mayor, the local city council? Anyone from there getting in touch with you?
No.
And how does that make you feel?
A little lost, yeah.
Has there ever been a concern about the tracks in the community before?
I'm not sure. We just moved there at the beginning of July. And from what I've been told, like at Cypress County office, some of the neighbors there who have lived there for more years actually said that there has been derailments before.
Okay. So two things there I want to clarify. You've just been living in that area for a month?
Yeah.
And this happens?
Yes.
I'm so sorry, Jennifer.
Oh, it's okay.
And so people had told you in the community that there have been derailments in the past?
Yes.
Anything as serious as this?
I don't think so. No.
And so in the past, when there were derailments, were they handled professionally? Did people feel safe?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Yes.
All right.
Yeah, and we were reassured that there are crews out there right now cleaning up the mess. So, I mean, we've been reassured that it'll probably be just tonight that we're evacuated.
And again, that is coming to you from the Red Cross?
Yes, and from Cypress County people that are there.
Okay. You have a 2-year-old. Did you say it's your daughter?
Yes.
How is she doing?
Oh, as every 2-year-old would be, she's having an adventure.
Okay, but there's not a concern about her health or safety. She's okay, right?
Yes, she's fine. Absolutely.
Okay, we're glad to hear that. And aside from sort of frayed nerves and this sense of concern, are you physically okay? Are the people you know, everyone around you, okay?
Yes, absolutely.
Because, well, I'm glad to hear that. You know, we haven't heard anything, as far as I can see, about injuries, but it is remarkable the images that we're seeing of the train derailment, and also in some of the pictures we see trucks there. So I don't know if those trucks arrived after or they happened to be there. Do you have any sense if anyone has been injured?
Not really. All I do know is that both sides of the highway were shut down because people were rubbernecking.
Right.
So there was accidents on both sides of Highway 1.
Oh my goodness, not because of the derailment, but because people wanted to look at the derailment.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so they've shut down that part of the highway. Any sense, because this is a Trans-Canada Highway section, I imagine quite busy, no?
Oh yes, it is very busy. Because the truckers from Manitoba to Calgary to Edmonton, you know, they use that highway all the time.
And did they give you any sense of when that would open up?
Not really. They just, on the radio here, they're just saying the highway has been shut down and cleanup crews are working as fast as they can to get things cleaned up to reopen it.
Jennifer, there's about 300 people that live in Irvine. Am I understanding that correctly?
About, yeah, definitely.
And all 300, to your knowledge, are out?
I don't know. I can't quote you on that because we left pretty early.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if it is the main Red Cross that's going to be your information, have they told you, do you have a room? Do you have a bed to sleep in tonight? Has that all been sorted out?
I don't know yet. We have to go back there because Red Cross had just got there.
and we're actually just going over to a friend's place to have something to eat quick.
Okay. Well, that sounds a lot nicer than having to stand in line and figure out the details. When you were speaking with the Red Cross, how many people were there with you?
I would say at that point, probably 40.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is the sense that more people will start arriving as the night goes on?
Probably. Yeah, most likely.
Okay. And will it be difficult for people to get out? If part of the highway is closed off, are they going to... I know it's difficult and you're not a local official, but you're our eyes and ears as close to the ground as possible. So forgive me for asking you so much, but...
No, there is a back way that you can get out of Irvine. It's a gravel road, so it's not very pleasant, but you can get to Medicine Hat from it.
Okay. Okay, that's good to hear. Hopefully you'll get some details from the local officials, both from Irvine and from Medicine Hat, but it sounds like the Red Cross is taking care of you folks right now. Anything else you want to tell us about what happened today that I haven't asked you yet?
No, that's about it.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you so much for taking time for us. This must be so stressful. You're in a new home, a new town, a little baby, and just trying to sort out all these details. I'm glad you've got folks in Medicine Hat to take care of you.
You bet.
Okay, take care of yourself. Thank you again.
Okay, Natasha.
And keep in touch. Let us know how things are going out there.
You bet.
Okay, have a good night.
Okay.
Be safe.
You too.